1320 WILS Morning Wake Up, discussing politics from a different angle right now. Let's take it up. Let's take the high road here and talk about leadership. And let's discuss specifically leadership style. What kind of impact does that have in the political world when we talk about savvy, skill? Someone's a sharp cookie, meaning, male or female, that they really, they know what they're doing. They successfully lead. Can they sustain that? Things change. How are you keeping up to date on what makes you a good leader, what makes for good leadership, and what it takes on the political side to have that shine through in this town, state capital? It's a quantity that at times is sorely lacking, and when it can be identified and put into play, it can be a very powerful thing. Carla Moore is our guest. She's an executive leadership coach. She's a VP of sales strategy at HBO, and she wrote the book Crash, Leading Through the Wreckage, Using Personal Power to Transform Your Leadership. And that word crash is literal. Carla, good morning. Welcome.
Mm-hmm. Good morning, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Yeah, crash meant literally this happened to you. Why don't you explain how, your epiphany here and how that came to be?
Mm-hmm. So, yes, I wrote the book Crash because I did have a little car crash 10 years ago, and it was in that crash moment where everything effectively just changed in my life. Dave, at the moment of impact, I was over 300 pounds, and the next day I decided I wanted to shift my life. And in 1 year, I went from 300 pounds to triathlete. And it was after that crash moment that I realized I wanted to help people understand that crash moments are transformations in disguise. And what was unexpected to me, or that happened to me, was the impact it had on my leadership at work. My leadership became much more impactful, much more meaningful once I understood that I needed to do work on myself in order to become a great leader.
Well, let's take it to the political side, because I think it definitely transfers. Although in our society now, our political side is based on, hashtag winning, and maybe some would say winning at all costs. And if you don't win and achieve all of your political goals, you're a loser. And I think that's the opposite of the art of politics. That's not the art of politics or even leadership. But I want to get your take. That's where I'm coming from on it. But maybe you've got a very different viewpoint. Tell me what it is and how you transform that to the political side.
Dave, you're absolutely right. Winning is not just calculated in winning at all costs. See, we all know that politics is about the conflict among people having or hoping to have and achieve power. But politics can be everywhere. Politics at work, at school, at church, at play, in life. And winning at politics and winning at leadership is about developing and exuding enlightened leadership. It's a concept I developed that I write about. It's about enlightened leadership, and there's three components of enlightened leadership, and it's one, knowing who you are, what you're here to do, and what you're in it for. And it's about finding the greatness in you so you can help others find the greatness in them. So leaders who have a sense and have clarity and awareness around who they are and what they're doing, what they're in it for, they know how to make space and room for talents and gifts of others. They know how to tap into the needs and wants of other people and bringing that to the forefront and creating pathways for that type of a success. So leadership is not just self-preservation and self-service and self-agendas, but rather helping other people see that they too can be great and that they too can stand in the fullness of what they were here to do.
How do you get through to somebody who says, but if I'm always elevating others to greatness, doesn't that diminish the aura of my sun and my solar system that's emanating from me? I mean, you know where I'm going with that?
Absolutely. I absolutely know what you're talking about, and that's where people get hung up, Dave.
Yeah.
People think that leadership is really all about them, and that self-focus it leads to ego. And listen, the most effective leadership style is what we call servant leadership. It's about the people. It's about seeking first to serve, then leading. But when you seek to lead first, That's where ego comes in. And we don't know what happens when ego runs amok. We don't make the best decisions. Our intentions aren't pure. And people can see that.
Right.
People can see it.
Yeah, that completely makes sense. Well, I mean, on the political side, the people who I see who exhibit true leadership sometimes are some of the most humble people, but they know when to put the front foot forward, and they know when to step back and let someone else, either to the right or left, and literally I mean that, to the right or left, shine.
Yes.
And they get things done. They get things done.
Mm-hmm.
They accomplish things as opposed to just talk. They get things done because one of the French philosophers once said, "Perfect is the enemy of good," but in politics, perfect is the enemy of the possible. And you always want to keep things possible. Keep the possibility.
Absolutely. And you hit the nail on the head, Dave. I open up all of my chapters in my book with a quote, and one of the chapters leads with, "Done is better than perfect." So when you're talking about getting things done is better than perfect. So look at some examples of enlightened leaders: Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey. These folks are innovative and creative. They also encourage other people to grow. They understand diversity and inclusion, that there are other points of views and thoughts to consider. These people get things done and bring their ideas to life and bring the ideas of others to life as well. And good politicians know how to do that as well, connecting, engaging with people, and bringing what they want and need to life.
I think, you're spot on. Use Bill Gates as an example. Of course, his former partner, Paul Allen, just died. But, I mean, you talk about possible versus perfect. Look, if there was perfect, we would never have had Windows 2.0. At all. Because Windows wasn't perfect. So we got to have 2.0. Right. We're going to keep working to make it better. And each version, we're going to try to learn what we didn't know before and put it. Okay, there's an actual metaphor for it. Well, we made Windows. It's perfect. Goodbye. Nope. Didn't work that way. The book is called Crash, Leading Through the Wreckage, Using Your Personal Power to Transform Your Leadership, Executive Leadership Coach, and talking politics and how that transfers over. Carla Moore. Where can people find the book, Carla?
You can find it on Amazon.com. It just became an Amazon bestseller on day of release. I released in February. So it's out there. People can also find me at Seymour Speaks on all of my social. That's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. Seymour Speaks. I love your conversation. I love ending on perfection is not the goal. It's about progression.
Yeah, perfection is please tell me, folks, don't make perfection the expectation with yourself, with your spouse, with your kids. You're always going to be disappointed. They're going to feed off that. It's not a good thing. But the possible, keep things in play. And the longer you do that, I think you feel good about yourself. At least it's a good place to start and try. Carla Moore, our guest. Carla, thanks for being here today. I appreciate hearing your viewpoint.
Thank you so much, and I hope you can bring me back soon. It's been a great conversation. Thank you.
Absolutely. Coming back on the Morning Wake Up. Do not go away. Keep it here. 1320 WILS.